Right, boys. So, it's day 52, and before I get into anything, I just want to address what the fuck I've got on my head. Now, I got this like 2 years ago in America. It's LAFC. Basically, it was like a freebie that I got, and yeah. Turns out it's actually pretty useful because I've got like relatively long hair, so don't think I'm a massive weirdo for wearing this headband, but I thought I'd just state the elephant in the room before I get talking about the video. So there you go. that's what the fuck I've got on my head. So yeah. Anyway, I'll get straight into the video. So I said before I'd make these more concise, so that's what I'm doing. I've got a bullet point list of things that I want to go over, and first things first, I want to state something that isn't great, but I've been somewhat relapsing on what I've stated. Now, I said I'd be doing monk mode, and I've been sticking to that, but I said that I'd be quitting social media, and to an extent I have, but not to the extent that I want to. What I'm doing at the moment is kind of starting a new series of outreach, and doing that, I've been using Instagram. Now, I haven't got Instagram on my phone, but I've got it on my computer. And whilst going through Instagram, the social media platform that it's built to be, I've been relapsing on it. So, yeah, I've been going on reels. I've been doing this shit, that shit, whatever. And, yeah, I found myself using it as well as Twitter more than I want to. A lot more than I want to. Like, as the distraction that I've stated that I don't want it to be when I get bored or stressed or whatever, and I go on, I'm doing something and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to write in this sentence, so I go on Instagram, I go on Twitter, whatever. So I've had that as my problem, and I feel like I feel like I'm repeating myself so many times in these videos. But I mean, there's only a certain amount of stuff I can talk about when I'm doing daily videos. So yeah, it's not ideal, but I've found a solution. And I've had this solution for a while, but I haven't actually implemented it, and now I've implemented it fully. So on my phone and on my computer, I'm going to, you know what? I can actually do this on here. Let me just reset these sites. I'm gonna bring this across here, but you know the Twitch streamer that I was, and I kind of am sometimes when I come out of retirement for like a few hours every month or whatever, and I feel like it. I can do this. Wait, I got hold on. Stay with me, bear with me. Right, so on this screen, you'll see that I've got Twitter. Now, you'll be like, okay, if you use Twitter on desktop, you'll realize that I don't have a timeline. And there's a reason for that. And that is due to this amazing app, which I'm not sponsored by, but it's called Undistracted. Now, this undistracted thing allows you to block Facebook, well, what you can see on it, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, Netflix, LinkedIn. Now, I don't use Netflix at all. I've never used Netflix, really. I kind of pay for the subscription simply because my mum and my sister use it, so I'm not trying to just be a prick and just cancel it because of that. And then LinkedIn, I don't really, well, I use, but not really. And then Reddit, I never, ever have I got into the use, I've never actually used Reddit in my life, ever, really, at all. And then Twitter and YouTube, these are the main ones. So on YouTube, I can go on here, and you'll see that I've blocked everything on this screen. So I can't see subbox. Can I change this? Oh, look at this. Hold on. Oh my goodness. So I've blocked this on the left, which is if I untick everything. This is the best feature ever. But if I untick this, you'll see that I've got YouTube. Let's hide the recommendations. Hide the recommendations because this is the kind of niche that I work in, so obviously it's going to have random shit in it. And then I can hide the sidebar. So the sidebar is subscriptions. I hide the sidebar. I hide the recommendations. And then YouTube is literally just for me to look at my YouTube channel. And if I want to unhide them, I can. But it adds that bit of friction between me and using YouTube. So you get the idea. Cool. You can understand why I use this. And the same applies for Twitter. I can do the same on Twitter. So when I go on Twitter and I untick all of this stuff. Oh wait, I've just done it on YouTube. I'm an idiot. Let me untick all this. So you have my timeline. and you'll see that I have everything on here, and this is what I get sucked into. I get this. I'm not going to click on DMs, but you get the idea. So that blocks Twitter as well. So there's no dopamine that actually I can get from Twitter apart from DMs. I mean, and notifications. But to get notifications, I have to put a tweet out. I have to reply to stuff, which is what this is. This is just like random shit that I've replied to and I get notifications from. So if I don't tweet anything or I don't reply to any tweets, I'm not going to get any notifications. Therefore, I'm not going to get any dopamine from Twitter. So that's my kind of position there. Now, I'm going to put this back on face again. I hope that makes sense. Now, I go onto my phone. I don't actually... Where is my phone? Oh, it's charging. Wait. This is like a proper exclusive YouTube video. So on my phone, I have this app called Opal, which blocks every app that I can choose what app it blocks. But the ones that I've got blocked is YouTube, TikTok, YouTube Studio, X, which is Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Instagram. Now I don't use Snapchat, but I block it just because it's got this like spotlight feature on it that I sometimes use like unintentionally when I go on it. But yeah, you've basically got everything on it and it blocks it, and you can choose for how long you want it to block it for, which is I've literally blocked it from midnight until 11:55 the next day in the evening. So it's literally blocked it the whole day because I'm doing a dopamine detox. I don't want to fucking use these sites. But when I do have to post or I have to do something specific on a social media app, I can unblock it. But to unblock it, I have to sit there for 120 seconds with the phone on. If it turns off, it resets. And then after the 120 seconds is up, then I can unblock the app. So it's a lot more intentional, and I can't actually access these apps now whatsoever unless I really, really need to which I can then go and unblock them on the website, or I can unblock them on my phone. So it's incredibly valuable. I highly recommend using it. I will link them in the description, but they are called, the phone app is called Opal, OPAL, and the computer app is called Undistracted. It is a Chrome extension. So I highly recommend using them if you use either phone or computer, which I know 100% of you do. So yeah, that's what I can recommend there. Now, I've written down here as my next bullet point to mitigate them. So what am I going to do to stop relapsing on social media? And I've kind of gone over two of them already. But another thing is write down my only obligations. So I kind of feel subconsciously that I need to check these things because they make me feel like there's nothing that I'm missing out on. It's the fear of missing out kind of feeling. So if I write down exactly what rather than just kind of being like random thoughts in my head that have no substance to them, I write them down and write down my only obligations that I actually have to do to feel like to actually be connected, and everything else is kind of like a fake kind of feeling in my head. Because on the whole, I don't actually need to check Twitter ever. I don't need to check Instagram ever, apart from DMs. So, yeah, you have that, and what I've written down is literally this. These are the only obligations I have, but it feels like, in my head, it feels like so many more things than this. But you write it down, it's obligations. You've got Twitter replies, Discord replies, WhatsApp replies. There is nothing else, social media, like messaging related, apart from emails maybe, that I need to check, are important. And these things, I can go, okay, I get the urge to check social media, and I get stuck in the trap when I go to check these messages because I get stuck on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. So I go and check Twitter DMs. I check Discord DMs. I check WhatsApp DMs. If I've got no WhatsApp DMs, no Discord DMs, and no Twitter DMs, and I have no intention of sending any, then there's literally nothing that I can do at that moment other than work. Literally nothing. If I'm doing anything that isn't work at that specific moment, when I realize there's nothing that I need to reply to or message, I should just be working. Literally that, right? Now, there's going to come times where you're going to be like, okay, so what are you going to do? You're just going to spend 16 hours of your day fucking working. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, but working is a very broad term. I mean, going to the gym is working. Reading books is working as long as you're doing it and not being a perfectionist. And yeah, I also kind of thought that this video would be pretty long. I'm sorry that it's going to be long. It will be long. We'll see. Probably won't be as long as I think it's going to be. Sorry about my chair, but but yes, I have that, and I've written them down. So what I recommend you doing is the same. If you want to enter this monk mode protocol, or just dopamine detox or whatever, or you just want to work, you want to reset your dopamine, then I do recommend doing this kind of thing, and that is writing down what it is that you actually need to check that is mandatory and obligations that you kind of go onto your phone to check. But when you go on your phone to check, you get caught on Instagram, you get caught on whatever, and you waste, then there's another 2 hours of your time going on TikTok or whatever, because you get caught doing something completely different because it's more stimulating. So write down those things and you go and check them intentionally. When it's done, turn it off. Simple as that. You've just got to be disciplined to do so. Nothing's going to come without a bit of willpower, a bit of discipline. But you can make it as easy for yourself as possible, which is what I'm doing here. So I do recommend doing this kind of thing if you do have this kind of intention of bettering yourself and doing all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with that. Now, one more thing I will add is my biggest problem is dopamine. Like, I want to get dopamine all the time, and my baseline is so high. I want to get it from YouTube. I want to get, like, if I'm sat there bored working on something that's not stimulating at all, I always want to check for YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, because my subconscious mind wants that hit of dopamine. It's gone a long time without it. It's like it is literally an addiction. It's literally the same as smoking. It's the same as vaping. It's the same as drugs. It's the same as whatever. My video's not gonna get pushed as much because I've said that word now, but it's fine. Because you go for an extended period of time without it, you then want to go and get it again. But if you can kind of catch that and be like, okay, no, I don't want to fucking get it, you can either do something instead, which is probably the best idea, or you can just face it like a man and just fucking go and just be like, okay, I want this thing, but I don't need it. I've got my obligations. Yes, I can check them, like Twitter. Okay, I need this hit of dopamine, and I feel like I need to check something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check WhatsApp, I'm going to check Discord, I'm going to check Twitter. If there's nothing, check Twitter DMs, not Twitter notifications, not the timeline, DMs. So block the fucking everything else on here. So yeah, you do that. There's nothing on there. You go back to your work, or you maybe walk around your house. You go and do whatever, just to kind of do something instead of relapsing on YouTube, on Twitter. So that's my kind of take on that, because my dopamine baseline is fucked, and that's why I find it so hard to do hard things for an extended period of time. And I imagine that's the same with everyone, because that is sadly how society and these computer companies and whatever build their products on, because they want to make as much money as possible, and to do so they need to grab your attention for as long as possible. And they've built social media platforms like a roulette system. I've literally written a blog on this exact thing, and I'm conscious of it, and I still, because they're so fucking powerful, I still fuck up on it, and I still go on these platforms even though I know that they're fucked. I know that they're fucked. But anyway, we all know that they're fucked, but we keep doing it because they're so fucking addicting, because they're built this way. And I'll link my blog in the description. I'm so details on it. I know exactly how to like stop doing it, but because I'm so tied into this space that it's so fucked. It's so fucked, but I can't stop it. I can. I can't say that I can't, but it is incredibly hard to do so. So anyway, there's a few ideas that you can kind of overcome this kind of thing. I'll put the blog in the description. There's another few ideas that I put on there as well. Right, so I've just had to cut that because I had to go do something. But yeah, I'm now gonna have to render the video and properly edit it. Nice. But anyway, I kind of forgot where I'm at. But next thing I want to go over is, I hope that makes sense, the thing I've just said. I don't know if I've over-explained it, under-explained it, but I hope you get the idea. I'll link the stuff in the description. But anyway, next thing I'm doing every day, and I'm going to make a non-negotiable of this monk mode phase, whatever you want to call it, is waking up and writing down a to-do list and simply sticking to my word of the to-do list. Now, to-do lists are, I don't want to call them controversial, but I feel like a lot of people do them wrong. They add far too much stuff to them. To which they never actually get them done, and then because they put too much stuff on them and they don't stick to them, then the to-do list is therefore not as credible because they've put too much stuff on it, not done it, and then they're like, okay, I've not done it today, why do I need to do it tomorrow? And then they write too much stuff on it, and the next day they won't do any of it. And yeah, so I think there's a way of doing to-do lists. I probably don't need to explain it, but I'll explain it briefly. Writing an important list of the things that are most important for that day, which would be like, I don't know, posting 4 TikToks. It depends what you're doing, right? It depends. It's literally whatever is down to you. But for like an example would be posting 4 TikToks, going to the gym, and writing down email templates. I don't know. Writing down 3 email templates. They're the most important things that you can do that day. I don't know. That's just shit examples. They're probably not. They're probably menial tasks, but that's just 3 examples. You put the most important things, and then under that you put like other things that need to be done that that would be okay if you wait until tomorrow. But obviously, it would be best if you do them all today. So those would be other things that would be stuff like write an email template. That would be one. Right, write 2 email templates, or get 30 leads. I don't know, but you can kind of get the idea. The most important task you need to put at the top, and then the ones underneath that you do throughout the day. And it would be best if you get them all done. But worst case scenario, you've got the most important ones done, the ones that are the most time consuming, the ones that are most important for moving you forward. The 20% of things, no, the 20% of things that get you 80% of the results. That's what I was trying to get at. Those things are the important ones. You need to do those as best you can, and then when you've got more time, you do the rest. So that's how you format the to-do list. And when you go into a day, you write at the start of the day, so you're kind of like motivated to get those done, rather than, this is what I find, at least some people do it the night before. It's okay if you want to do that. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way, but what I do is I do it in the afternoon, to which what am I saying? I write it when I wake up in the morning. My mind was kind of going then. It's just because I've got to re-render this whole video. It's going to take ages. I write it in the morning when I wake up, and then you kind of got the motivation to go and get it, and you know, like, the discipline that you're going to need to get that done. You're like, okay, I need to stick to my word here. What I'm going to do is the next 4 hours I'm just going to deep work and get as much stuff of this as I can done. And then when that 4 hours is done, you might be able to get more in, you know. Whereas in the at night, you get like some people write it under 3 a.m. motivation. They write it that night, and then they wake up and it's got less meaning to it. I don't know. It's a weird mental thing. People prefer it in the evening. If I write it in the evening, I'm less likely to stick to it. That's what I found. So I do it in the morning, but it depends person to person. So yeah, basically wake up and write a to-do list that I'm going to do in the work hours that I kind of set myself, that I'm doing the most important tasks, the ones that I actually need to be doing, which are working on the agency, both agencies, going to the gym or whatever, right? So in the time that I can be working and there's nothing else that I should really be doing, those are the times that I'm working on this to-do list. Simple as that. I'm making it sound a lot more, a lot harder to understand than it really is. It's really simple, but that's just kind of how I organize my day. And writing a to-do list, I'm going to make that a non-negotiable every morning, rather than just kind of aimlessly going about my day. So that's another thing that I'm going to add in, and I'm going to stick to my word on this because I'm fully locked in. Like before I was locked in, but not as best as I wanted to be. So I'm talking a lot of talk, but yeah, that's basically what's happening now. So, and yeah, as I say, when I was saying before, you have the work hours. The work hours are set. In my work hours, in my day, there's only a few things that I need to be doing. So it's either working, playing tennis, or going to the gym. That is the main 3 principles of this monk mode period, whatever. Now, of course, there's going to be miscellaneous things that come up, like, I don't know, you go out for dinner, or you watch a film with your family, or just anything like that. Obviously, you're not going to be 100% locked in 16 hours of the day. There's going to be a few hours here and there where you're going to be doing other things, and work isn't going to be able to be done. Or by work, I mean I mean, work is a very broad term, as I say. It's work. Work consists of reading, going to the gym, whatever, but it's just being productive. Things that move your life forward, basically. So, yeah, there's going to be times where you're not 100% you're not working this, and you're going to be doing other things, but when you're not doing those things, it's important to actually be able to nail down on work. And when you're working, you are working. You're not half working. You're not 50% working. You're going on Twitter, then you're coming back to your work, then you're going on Instagram, then you're coming back to your work, then you're going on TikTok for an hour, then you're coming back to your work. You're just locked in, and that's why it's so important to block these social media sites. So I do recommend kind of doing that. Again, I'll put them in the description, but yeah, that's kind of my kind of thing. I just wanted to be 100% honest with you, because I have been somewhat relapsing the last few days, and I'm not happy with myself. 1, because I'm lying to myself. 2, because I'm lying to you. 3, because I'm losing credibility. And it's not as bad as I seem, and I know I'm being hard on myself, but you've got to be hard on yourself if you want to move forward. So just realizing what your issues are and solving them as best as you can. And willpower most of the time isn't the most powerful thing in the world. You've got to have more to it than willpower. You've got to make it as easy for yourself as possible, which, to do so, I've blocked it and added as much friction to doing relapsing as I can. So I've added the blockers. I've added the blockers on the computer, on my phone, and write a to-do list. So when I'm in work hours, I know exactly what I've got to be doing. And if I'm not doing those things, I know that I'm fucked up. And if I do get that urge, which I will have, to go on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, then with that urge, I go and check the things that I know I do need to check. And by checking them, I'm then connected and I'm not missing out on anything, to which I can then lock in on my work again. It's as simple as that, because when I'm working, sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on stuff, which is naive, but it's just a subconscious thing where I'll go on Twitter, I'll go on Instagram, and it makes me feel more connected, even though I'm not. I'm just consuming more information that I don't need to consume. So that's why writing down my obligations of checking messages is good, because I know exactly what I need to do when I have those moments of urge. I can just go and check them, kind of reset and be like, okay, I've done everything. I can be kind of mindful now. I'm chilling. Cool. I've checked everything. Back to the work. Simple as that. So it's just realizing what your problems are and fixing them as best as you can. Simple as that. So yeah. With that said, I'm now going to have to go and render this video and cut it into 2 halves. So that's fun. But yeah, again, apologies for the headband. I know it is pretty zesty, but it helped me because my hair's long. I've had a shower, and if my hair's just flat, it's just like this, and it just looks a bit goofy. So I've got to be looking somewhat presentable online, and if the people might not rate the bandana, but whatever. This is just a documentary series. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. This hasn't been as long as I thought it was going to be, but I've kind of gone over everything that I need to tell you about, and I'm sorry again for kind of fucking up there. And yeah, I appreciate you all so much. And we go again tomorrow. And yeah, I do have a video coming out in the next few days. The video editor was going to edit it today, and then he said he's ran out of internet or something. So I'll get it out in the next few days. The thumbnail will be done too. So I've said this for a while. It's literally not even in my hands. It's in theirs, but they're just not doing it. So whatever. Anyway, there's that said, and yeah, I'll go over a few more things tomorrow. I don't want to make this too long-winded, but thank you for watching. Appreciate all the follows, all the subscriptions, I replied to all the comments today, by the way. Every single comment I replied to. I appreciate it all so fucking much, and I'm sorry for taking so long to reply to some of them. I do feel quite bad about that, but I got around to them all today, and I can't tell you how thankful I am for all of you and all the support and everything. So thank you again. Really, really do appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow night for day 54 of the 0 to 10k a month series. Appreciate you all. Thank you for watching, and yeah, for like the 4th time this video. Goodbye, and thank you.